I just had the coolest time watching this movie. It's twisty and it's twisted, and it's just, yeah, it's such a journey. So, what drew you to this project initially?
Well, I really like the script. I mean, I love that it was a female director, and I just love that it was a female-driven Western, which I feel like I almost can't even remember any movie that I've ever seen that's been a female-driven Western. And I just love that the character was so interesting and fierce and intelligent, and just this idea of how to survive during that time period. If you're a woman and your husband is dead, and you have this daughter, and how do you survive?
Mm-hmm. And yeah, like you said, this is like a female-led and female-directed Western, which feels so incredibly rare these days. And you had Audrey Cummings at the helm. What was it like on set collaborating with her? What was the energy like?
Well, it's cool with a female director. I mean, of course, there are male directors that can do this too, but the female director really relates to that female story and the female perspective. And I think we both related to that character so much. And, just this unspoken, like empathy we have for the Pandora character.
Yeah, and Pandora is such an interesting character. She's different from the typical kind of like woman in a Western, like a damsel or anything like that. She's a survivor in this like gritty environment, but she also values education and she's always correcting her daughter's grammar and all of that. So what was it like building that character? What traits did you want the audience to pick up on?
Well, I love that there were so many juicy details in the script, which was actually written by a man. So I'm
Mm.
grateful to him for writing such good characters for us. Um, but yeah, wait, now I totally blanked out on what your question was.
No, you're good.
Question?
What was it like building this character?
Well, it's so fun. I work with an acting coach. Her name's Warner Lachlan, and we come up with all the memories from my past and just like every single formative moment of my life. And it's so creative and interesting. And it's just fun to be a woman who can outsmart men in a Western because I think you almost never see that. I feel like in Westerns, it's either like you're it's like a prostitute, someone who gets killed, or just like the mother or wife. It's like, honey, please come home safe. And she has one scene where she's like, honey, don't go. And he's like, I gotta go. So it's fun to have just like an interesting role as a woman in a Western.
Mhm. And you also have this beautiful mother-daughter relationship that is kind of different from the typical mother-daughter relationship. It's a little strained, but it's ultimately very protective. What was it like kind of creating that relationship?
I mean, I think it's real because, the idea of, oh, you have a perfect relationship with your daughter, it's probably very rare. And just this idea that I think my character, Pandora has a lot of issues. Maybe she could, she has a lot of fear and she doesn't want her daughter to have the horrible things happen to her that she has had happen. She wants to protect her from the life the struggles that Pandora has had. So, I think her whole motivation is just helping her daughter have a better life than she did.
Yeah. Did you feel kind of like a maternal protective instinct over your co-star in those moments?
I did. I mean, I want to shoot all those guys and just protect her, shoot all those bad guys and just like protect her for sure. Like the idea, the last scene in the movie, it's so disturbing. I'm like, I just want to kill anybody that just is going to screw with her?
Mhm. I mean, you do have quite a few shootout scenes and you prove yourself to be quite a sharpshooter, which is so cool. Did you do any prep or training for those scenes particularly?
Well, I had shot guns in movies before a little bit, but luckily we had great stunt guys that helped me, do it. And Corin Nemec, he knows his way around a gun. He's definitely a real cowboy. But I guess I kind of instinctively knew how to do it. It was fun just running with a gun and shooting and falling over and doing like one of my own stunts where I just fell over. Actually, I did a bunch of my own stunts.
Mhm.
Fun.
That's awesome. You've become known as someone who is just like picking up all these crazy hard skills for your films. I mean, like roller skating for Boogie Nights and swing dancing and swingers and now gunslinging. So, what's your process like for learning a new skill? Because you've obviously hacked it. You're amazing at it.
Well, I feel really lucky as an actor. You get to learn all these things, like you get to have somebody teach you how to swing dance who's amazing at swing dancing, or you get to, learn how to use a gun. It's just, I feel like it's a great education to, you get to live all these different lives. That's one of the fun things about being an actor.
Yeah. Do you have like, is there a skill that you've picked up that was the hardest to pick up?
Well, it's fun speaking in accents. I have a Western accent in that movie. But every job I do, I get nervous. So it's just kind of like doing things that you're excited about, you're scared about, and just like being brave and just being like, it's gonna be great.
How do you get over those nerves? Because I'm sure there's a lot of them.
I mean, the things that makes me feel better is when I read about other people like Steven Spielberg or Meryl Streep talking about being nervous about starting their job on the first day. And I just think, okay, well, maybe everybody feels that way.
Hmm. Is there, without spoiling too much, is there a moment in the film when you're watching it back that you're proudest of? Like maybe a particularly difficult scene that ended up really beautiful, or is there a proud moment you have?
I just love how intelligent my character is and how I think it's also real. It's not just like, oh, this crazy fake superhero stuff. It's like a real woman who's really smart and really strong and tough, and how she can like use her intelligence to outsmart these bad guys.
Hmm. You've been in a couple kind of classic westerns and western adjacent films. Be it just like, Ballad of Little Joe, Desert Winds, The Last Sun, even like even Cowgirls Get the Blues. You
Wow,
could say
you really know a lot about movies. I'm impressed.
rattling them off. Yeah. So what in your opinion is the difference between a good western and a great western?
Well, I think between for any movie, it's just that you feel something for the characters and that you're invested in the story, and just a great story that you're invested in.
Hmm. Do you have a favorite classic western?
Wow, that's a good question. I mean, most of them are just all male stories. Like, I mean, so popping in my mind, I just think of Unforgiven, but I feel like I need to think about that question more. Hell or High Water, they're all male told stories. Yeah. What about you?
I love them all. I mean, I agree. There are a lot of kind of male driven westerns. I think like it would be interesting to see like an Unforgiven that
He's a
is
woman.
kind of female led. I don't know.
I mean,
That
I
could
think
be
it's refreshing that we get to see kind of these stories from a different perspective, like these stories that we've seen through the years in the classic westerns, High Noon or whatever. And then you can see, well, the story from a female point of view.
yeah, yeah. It would be interesting. I would love to see you in a female Unforgiven. That'd be awesome.
Love that. Yes, please. Put it out
Okay.
there in the universe.
We'll make it happen.
But it is
Um,
interesting to think about living during that time period and how difficult life was and just how hard it was to survive.
yeah, like I think that's another beautiful thing that your film doesn't shy away from is like, these are strong, independent women, but it also doesn't shy away from the hardships that women go through in the West
Like, we
specifically.
don't change clothes. We wear the
Yeah.
same outfit every day. Yeah.
And they're beautiful clothes. Did that kind of change how you moved a little bit, like getting to wear those?
Uncomfortable period costumes. I don't know how people really, it's a lot. It's a lot that you're wearing.
Mhm. I wanted to also touch on another area of your career that I find so inspirational. You've recently written and directed two films, Chosen Family, which is about to come out, and Half Magic, which was in 2018. What drove you to want to tell these stories?
I think just being in the business and feeling that most stories were being told from a male perspective with a male star and a male protagonist. I just wanted to see more stories told by women. Just as an audience member, I thought it would be fun to just tell a story that meant something to me, and just it's so fun to get behind the camera and just be part of the storytelling process in a different way.
Yeah. Can we expect maybe like a Heather Graham written and directed Western one day? Is that
Oh,
like
yeah, you're right. That's true. I mean, right now I'm working on making a TV show with my friend that is not exactly a Western. It's from a book by Leanne Moriarty, who's an awesome writer. She wrote Big Little Lies. But yeah, you're making me more excited about doing another Western.
Yeah, I think you're an important voice to have in the Western sphere, which is, I'm also so excited. You have another Western coming up, Gunslingers with Nicolas Cage. Can you tease anything on what we can expect from your character in that film?
Basically, yeah, it was so cool to be in a movie with Nicolas Cage. I mean, that's more of a traditional Western, but it's a cool, fun, actiony story.
Awesome. I'm so excited and I'm so happy and thrilled for you and all of your endeavors. I've been a fan for a long time, so I'm so happy to see you in this world. I so appreciate your time and Yeah, I'm excited for people to see Place of Bones. It's
Thanks so
terrifying, but
much. Thank you for talking to me and the kind things you just said, and thanks for talking about Place of Bones. I appreciate it.
of course. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.